Amid the chaos, pleas for President Biden not to abandon the Afghans who stood shoulder to shoulder with the United States against the Taliban.
Now we need Biden or whoever has the power. Please help all these families that they're on the street and their kids are not deserving this. They help you and they help America and they help the world. So they put their life in risk to help the world to do the right thing. This is what my family did. All those people, they're right behind the airport. 80% of them, they have paperwork that proves they did work with Americans. They did work with Americans. And now the Taliban are right there. They're seeing them every day with their paperwork. How you know they can videotape every one of those guys? And when you leave next month, they can one by one and get them out of their homes and kill them.
Vivek, this is horrifying. And the footage of the sickening violence there in Kabul and the astonishing stories coming out of the other provinces there are yet in stark contrast to the new Taliban promised us by, frankly, the terrorist regime.
Look, I think we should judge the Taliban not by their words, but by their actions. Now, is this the same Taliban as in 2001? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Time will tell. As you pointed out, the early signs are not positive. But I will tell you this. This is not a liberation of the Afghan people. As Pakistan's prime minister recently said, that is supposedly an ally of the United States. I consider that offensive. This is a coup by an extremist group. We should see it with a clear eyes, set of clear eyes for what it is. And I think that we shouldn't squint to try to see something different.
Shannon, meanwhile, the U.S. is, quote, in talks with the Taliban, as National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan confidently stated, the Taliban have informed us they are prepared to provide the safe passage of civilians to the airport, and we intend to hold them to that commitment. With what assurances, Shannon? What leverage does the U.S. have from the weakened position our president has put us in?
Yeah, it's like the same thing. We have this joint statement from a number of countries today saying we're watching what the Taliban is going to do, how they treat women and girls. And clearly that is one of our top concerns. But at the end of the statement, it talks about the fact, we're keeping track. Well, then what? Like you said, what is the repercussion for the Taliban if they don't perform in the way that civilized society think that they should? We've got so many issues and problems over there right now, and there's not a lot of confidence that this administration has the situation anywhere near under control. Rich Edson, who covers the State Department for us, sent out just a short time ago the emergency communications that are going out to Americans who are still stuck, by the thousands of them there in Afghanistan. It's encouraging them to get to the airport, but then in all caps, this alert to them says the United States government cannot ensure safe passage to the Hamid Karzai International Airport. So telling them to go there, but saying, we think that we can get you safe passage. The Taliban is working with us, but we can't guarantee it, but try to get there. I mean, this is just an epic meltdown on so many different levels. For American citizens and also for those like the desperate young man who saw there, tens of thousands of them and their families who helped us.
And Kaylee, to Shannon's point, there is a refusal to commit to the safe exodus, the safe evacuation of Americans on this administration's part. Let's watch a clip of what Jake Sullivan's response was when pressed on evacuating every American by the August 31st deadline that they have set. Watch.
Will U.S. troops stay until everyone is out, or will they leave?
So I'm not going to comment on hypotheticals. What I'm going to do is stay focused on the task at hand, which is getting as many people out as rapidly as possible, and we will take that day by day.
Americans are being left behind. That question was asked not once but twice, and the administration would not commit to that. Underscoring what Shannon said a little bit further, Sarah Cook from CBS News has a note that went out from the State Department to U.S. citizens in Afghanistan. It says exactly what Shannon said, but to read it in full, it says, to American citizens, thank you for registering your request to be evacuated from Afghanistan. The U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan has confirmed that an undefined number of U.S. government-provided flights will begin soon. Please make your way to Hamid Karzai International Airport at this time. And then in bold and in caps, please be advised that the United States government cannot guarantee your security to make this trip. They have been left behind. The administration will not tell us if they will stay beyond August 31st to ensure the safe evacuation of Americans. By the way, how many Americans are there? Because yesterday morning, Kirby told us it was 5,000 to 10,000. Psaki then tells us it's 11,000. Then Pentagon officials are backgrounding to reporters. It is 10 to 15,000. They don't even know how many American citizens are in Afghanistan and cannot guarantee their safe passage. This is an absolute unmitigated disaster. And Joe Biden, we have a commander-in-chief who is, quite frankly, missing in action.
Did you hear what that man who Fox and Friends interviewed this morning, we just played him, Haroon, we'll just use his first name or a name we were given we could use. He said to President Biden or whoever is in power,
Right.
because it looks like no one is. And I actually, I try to be optimistic. I actually think they're lying when they say they don't know how many people are there. I think they don't want to tell us. I think they don't want to tell us how many breakthroughs have been with the vaccination. But that would tell us how well the vaccination is working with COVID. Administration won't give us that breakthrough number either. I mean, it's a numbers thing. It's not a game because we can't win because we don't have the numbers. This is a disaster by epic proportions. When you go in with 4,000 on the ground to rescue 5, that's very different than 4,000 to 7,000 on the ground to rescue 15,000.
Right.
Now, you don't have to be a mathematician or a genius to know that. But why won't they tell us the truth? And I have always said that when people who you're holding accountable will lie to you or not tell you all the story, it's because probably it's worse than what you think.
Yeah.
And I want to think the best and be optimistic. Jack Keane took it from hope to strategy today, though. And I know you've got a little bit of him.
That's exactly right, guys. Let's play now for you something that General Keane talked about with that August 31st deadline. Watch.
The fact that we would still, at this late time, in the face of this unbelievable humanitarian crisis, be wedded to 31 August. Why? Because the Taliban's whispering in our ear that you guys better be gone by the 31 August. Make sure that Barada, who's now flown into the Kandahar airport, he's going to be the emir. He knows in uncertain terms, even if we have to send somebody down there and put a finger in his chest, an American, and let him know that this is what we intend to do. We are determined to safeguard our citizens and our Afghan friends who work with us. That's it.
Listen carefully to General Jack Keane. That is optimism based on facts on the ground. What he's saying is we haven't lost all of our leverage, but we certainly are getting really good at giving it away. And he said that the window is short on that, but we still can negotiate an exit for our people. But it can't happen after the now trip to Delaware that Bret Baier says that the president is on now. Like, oh my gosh, the extended vacation that Jen Psaki went on and you got an automated message from her voicemail or email. Like, we need to get on it now. And if you can't tell the American people anything, fine, but don't lie to us.
Yeah.
And none of those assurances, none of those, the execution of that strategy, nothing will work in the absence of leadership. And unfortunately, that's all we have at this moment.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.